Things are getting hot and heavy with your new girlfriend. She is the love of your life, the girl you know you're gonna marry. But as it comes time to do the deed and whip out your sin snake, you can't help but hesitate. What's gonna happen when you unzip the zipper? Is she gonna be impressed or disappointed? And how do you stack up to other men? What size pocket custard chucker do women and men really prefer? Humans have a weird fascination with their one-eyed trouser pirates. You can find phallic representations dating back to the dawn of mankind. Seems like the moment man became sentient, he was mastering fire and leaving carvings of his own beef thermometer all over the place, which aliens probably find super weird. But the male sex organ very quickly became a symbol of fertility and strength, and naturally, the bigger the better. Today, despite putting men on the moon and cracking the atom, mankind is still fascinated with the mini Vlad the Impaler that rests inside the pants of approximately half the human population. From pornography to romance novels and even popular jokes, big is in, and small is usually the punchline. Is that really true though? Do people who enjoy being on the receiving end of your bald yogurt slinger really care that much about size? The news is both good and bad. First, small tangent. Guys, you can rejoice because there has been a few studies that show when it comes to remembering the size of a man's baloney pony, most women tend to overestimate. So if she's thinking about you, she's probably remembering you a bit larger than life. On to size, one common myth is that every woman is a size queen. This is false. While there are definitely men and women who are turned on by very large penises and adopt the moniker, numerous studies show that it's usually more of a you thing than a her thing. In a 2017 poll of 1,500 Europeans and Americans on the subject of what they would be willing to compromise on in a relationship and what would be a deal killer for them, only 8% of women said that a baby-sized Robert Downey Jr. would be a deal breaker for them. Unfortunately for you, the entirety of that 8% lives in your local area. 73% of women polled said they would be more than happy to substitute a miniature beaver cleaver and awkward moves for expert oral skills. And no, we don't mean they're looking for a TED Talk between the sheets. Sex still ranked low on the priority list for women. 88% said they'd choose great communication over great sex. Got a not-so-long John Silver's? Get a big brain instead. Women who preferred a romantic partner ranked at 78%, and those who preferred someone who stays in good physical shape clocked in at 62%. 40% of women appreciated a good cook, and over half of women wanted a man who knew how to clean up after themselves and do some chores. And a whopping 95% of women said that love was more important than sex. At the end of the day, the size of your trouser snake actually ranks extremely low on a long list of priorities. So next time you want to impress a girl, stop sending unsolicited dick pics. Instead, send her unsolicited pics of you cleaning the oven. But when it comes to preferred size, all other factors are removed. There is a running favorite. It might seem like bigger is better, and bigger probably is better when you're not the one having to accommodate a semi-truck in the garage meant for a sedan. Shockingly, it turns out that most sexual partners don't like to be in crippling pain during and after sex. So while a big tonsil tickler might look good on paper, in practice women absolutely do not prefer it. Turns out that for women, the most desired penis length is around 6.3 inches fully erect. This does put it a full 1.2 inches above the average global penis length, which sits around 5.1 inches when erect, but still well below what is popularly seen in pornographic entertainment. Women surveyed found 6.3 inches to be comfortable while still attractive, a good-sized stinky pickle that you can introduce to people without scaring the neighbors. But knowing how to use it is even better, and if you've measured up short between the legs due to a bad hand dealt to you by random genetics, then worry not. Because doing chores, being a romantic, and having a tongue that can tie cherry stems into knots will have your partner seeing stars. Now find out the truth about your turtleneck sweater with weird facts about foreskin, or click this other video instead.